Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of It's a Progressive World. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Sam. So you can find timestamps down below, and please like and subscribe. Alrighty, Sam, let's get right into it. Tease the main stories.
So, tomorrow is the Persian or Iranian New Year, and at the very end of the show, we're gonna discuss a bit the Iranian New Year, but as they say in Persian, pisha pish, or in advance, Happy New Year to everybody. And our main stories are about, man, this week, everybody, they are going after our boys. They are going after all our boys. Trump is being threatened by the fact that he might be going to a court or something like that. ICC has issued a warrant for our Russian boy, Vladimir Putin. The British boy, Boris Johnson, is being forced to answer for having a good time, Partygate. Imran Khan, I don't know if you're aware, there was a whole standoff near his house. They were trying to get him after trying to kill him a couple of months ago. And then Erdogan is also having a tough time. It's not so much, they're not going after Erdogan so much. Erdogan is just having a tough time on his own. And there was some interesting revelations regarding Iran and American history about the hostage crisis in New York Times. So we're going to talk about that. And then some updates regarding some of our favorite people, Yanis Varoufakis, and a little bit discussion perhaps about freedom of speech and that type of thing.
Okay, all right.
It was a bit of a long tease, but
No, very
they're
nice.
going
Thank you
after
for
our
that.
boys. They're going
Yeah, that
after
is
our
true,
boys.
seriously. But yeah, and by the way, Iranian New Year is in like 36 hours, right? It's in technically 2 days, no?
A bit less, but yes, it's technically in 2 days. I mean, it's 1 o'clock a.m., not tomorrow, the day after
Yeah.
tomorrow. So yeah, but it's midnight
Yeah.
basically.
Interesting timing. I remember when I was a kid and sometimes it would be like 6 a.m. and stuff. It was a bit more awkward.
Yeah,
What kind of
no, thank.
gathering?
I remember there was one time when we were young, it was 4 or something. It was
Mm,
really ridiculous. I think, yeah, but it's yeah. I have to say today I went to, I mean, I will talk about it later, but I went to Tajrish, and again, this year is particularly good, and
mm.
I really enjoy it. It's probably the best festival, I would say, in the world, without any bias and prejudice. I say that, except, being Iranian. But I genuinely consider it, the fact that it coincides with the changing of the seasons, spring, it's truly it feels very nice. I don't know. I don't want to get too
Glad to hear.
Iranian chauvinist about it.
Good to hear that you
Uh,
feel good about
uh,
it. I'm happy about that.
uh.
And I'm sure
You
we'll
don't even
talk
want,
about it more
man,
towards the end of the show.
you can't even say you're proud, like, to be Iranian or any nation or culture. You have to be, I'm happy to be Iranian. I'm just happy. I can't say proud is too much. But yeah, it's very good times. And the weather this year was fantastic, and it's supposed to rain in 2 days again. So
Very, very nice. It's all good stuff.
this was a brief announcement from Iranian Tourism Board, which sponsors our show. They don't sponsor.
Oh, that'll be
Anyway.
hilarious. But yeah, Trump, I saw his messages, huh? He's saying that
Yeah,
Tuesday he's getting arrested.
they coming after him. They're coming after. I mean, what a baby. But I just prepared some videos to give us a brief
Yeah.
overview before we talk about it. So there's some recent development regarding Trump and his legal issues and all that. And put this a bit lower. Oh, I thought this has audio. Former U.S. president says that he's going to be arrested in New York, but as I don't know, as many people have pointed out, there is little to no evidence for that for sure. But I don't know. Do you think they're gonna arrest You're mute.
Oh, sorry. Go back to that previous video, right where it's paused. Just leave it there.
Sorry.
So you had sent the reporting to me, and like the lady who was reporting and everything, her voice was super annoying, but she said something that was hilarious. So you see this message is part 2, right? And then she's like, blah, blah. And then 33 minutes later, Donald Trump came back with part 2. And I could just imagine in my head, those 33 minutes, writing, deleting again. I was like, I don't know, it just makes sense, He wrote something long, and so, you just get like,
can't imagine
exactly what he was up to
Trump.
for 33 minutes, like writing, deleting. Okay, no, this is good.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just wonder. I can't imagine Trump being a sort of a back and forth type of guy in editing. I think he just
No,
it's
but
kind of
it's
like
too,
vomit just comes out. And I think in that 32 minutes there was probably, I don't know, he saw, I don't know, some bird or something. He got distracted. He's has
No,
very
it's a
short
pretty
attention
long
span.
message.
But
Although I agree, he probably
let's.
vomits
We
it
are
all
talking about
out.
his tweet.
Yeah, he
But
probably
if
goes
anybody's
back.
just listening,
Yeah, and then he
and he
probably
has a
goes
tweet.
back and fixes it a bit and comes back. So yeah, he like probably vomits a few times, and then then he has his message.
I just want to read this. Now, illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crimes. I love how he just randomly usually brought in some like different thing the other person has done. And it's like the what was it? Ron DeSantis thing. And whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven and based on an old and fully debunked parentheses by numerous other prosecutors, fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday. I mean, do you think they're gonna arrest him though? For sure, for real?
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this could, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there are some cases here and there. I mean, I'm sure, of course, there are cases here and there trying to get him one way or another. So wouldn't be surprised if one of them. I mean, that's what the theories are out there, right? That one of them they're gonna be acting on them. So I mean, there's a likelihood, but I don't know. I don't know much more. What would you say?
No, man, but I mean, come on. I don't know. I just don't think
Yeah,
he
no,
will
but
ever be arrested. Nixon, I mean, he
no,
quit.
not
But
arrested. Like, given like a warrant to show up, not a warrant or whatever, like something to show up to court for something, or like there's some
surely, of
advancement.
course.
Yeah, there's some kind of
But
advancement. So
that's
yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's like different from getting arrested. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but I, to be honest, anyway, this is this is all related to the whole Stormy Daniels thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Michael
true. Yeah.
Cohen and all that stuff.
Oh, and the things
But,
that
I mean,
just so lame out of everything. It's like, okay, fine.
yeah, I know.
This one
It's like so
statement that you
lame.
made towards this one lady, we're gonna get you on that. No, okay, that one has to stick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's just like compared to other crimes he's done, lying about his sleeping with I mean, not lying, I guess breaking campaign
But even his
office laws.
indictment was over something like small and silly. Like I think the second indictment. They're just
Second, what do you mean? I mean, he's had so many legal. What are you referring
No,
to?
his second indictment, like the most serious indictment process, the one where like
You mean impeachment? The second impeachment, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, impeachment. Sorry.
The second impeachment.
The
That was a
second-
very Ukrainian phone call in
Yeah,
which he, yeah. Like, if you kind of
I
want
mean,
to
just
be
so
gone.
ridiculous. Yeah. Soon as gonna, like, he left the TV on at the White House one evening, and then the next day he's denied it. So
I mean, that's actually a very interesting theme, because that's the thing. They can't get these guys for the big things, because if they
yeah.
get them for the big things, and these guys, I mean, all the guys we're going to talk about, because as you notice, Boris Johnson, Trump, the other one, Imran Khan, Erdogan is a different case. But these three at least are the legal cases that are brought against them are the most ludicrous
Yeah.
legal cases. I mean, like, it's like, yeah, you know, he didn't call his grandma. We know he didn't call his grandma for 2 weeks in a row. So he's
And he
out.
lied
He
about it.
must,
It's not the
he lied
act.
about it.
When we asked
Yeah, it
about him,
doesn't.
he lied.
He broke campaign promise. He said he has talked to his grandma. His grandma denied it. We have the phone records. We have the phone records.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
so right. And I mean, of course, the reason is anything bigger would involve,
Yeah,
would
then
just
they have
start
to arrest
involving
everybody.
one too many people. Yeah, they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm issuing a warrant for myself. No, okay, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
oops. So we can't really money laundering. No, it's everybody's done that. Everybody's hands are
But
dirty.
who
So
doesn't
sorry,
call
guys.
their grandma? What kind of
Seriously,
despicable human being?
this is ridiculous. I mean, we all might be smugglers and human traffickers, but we all respect family values, for fuck's sake. So yeah, I mean, I doubt he's in trouble, but I think he's doing, if he seems to be taking this presidential run more seriously than the last one, I have to say.
Oh,
Like, he
really?
seems to be sort of shoring up. He's really doing this sort of victimhood, sort of, they're coming after, so
Yeah.
if he did that last time, who knows?
Well, I mean, maybe
But
that was his first time, so he probably tried out a lot of different materials, and now he's kind of refined his act.
yeah, his act is
Everything's been
good to me.
streamlined. Now it only takes 33 minutes for a tweet. Previously was up to an hour and a half.
And as you know, because of COVID, he couldn't go to the clubs, so he couldn't do the usual, you do in a small clubs, your routine becomes better. But
Oh,
last
yeah.
time he couldn't do his.
Now
Last
he's
time he
just
couldn't
showing
do.
up at random shows just for the practice, just to
Yeah.
just to refine his step. Shows up on a Tuesday night, local stand-up.
I swear to God.
Refining.
Probably would work for him.
Okay,
At any
practicing
rate,
for a Netflix special,
yeah, he should have a Netflix special. I mean, to be fucking idiots who have Netflix, like the unfunniest comedians who've had Netflix. Anyway,
That
but
would be hilarious. Imagine like a 25-minute set.
oh yeah, 1 hour. I think he can go for an
Yeah,
hour
for sure.
talking about hairspray, and that.
Imagine him as a comedian, though, doing like the pacing to left and right that they do and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if he. Yeah, he. I mean, he's just so, like, the way he stands, everything. Anyway, but let's go to our other boy, the mastermind behind Trump's election, if you believe the Democrats. And this is a 27-minute video, so I'm not going to play it. But as I'm sure you heard, and everybody has heard, even I believe the cats in the streets have heard, Putin, ICC has issued a arrest warrant over war crimes. And it's just, yeah, as you know, ICC is an institution that is taken seriously by over 3 people in the globe, and those 3 people work at the ICC. They are I, C, and C. I is Ian, C and C are Clive and Connery. So it's just ridiculous. Who takes ICC?
The ICC is always accused of only going after, former African dictators. So you have to, they listen to the people, they listen to the critics. So, okay, what's the opposite? Okay, the people on the complete other side of the globe. Okay.
That is true. Opposite of the former African is current Russian, it's the whitest people on earth. But I mean, and the funniest thing, and I don't know if I saw somebody pointing out on Twitter or something, but the funniest thing is this is coming on the 20th anniversary of Iraq war invasion, and everybody's doing programs about that. And I don't know if you saw, Kamala Harris went on Colbert and it's unbelievable that Republicans don't want us to support Ukraine. which is defending itself against the illegal invasion. America has to stand up for rules and laws right now, because rules and laws are in our favor for the moment. But it's beyond ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know what, like, it's really, I mean, I genuinely feel like the Ukraine war was the nail in the coffin for international institutions. Like, nobody's taking any of them. Like, it's over. Like, really, I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, to an extent, I see what you mean.
Like, it's just like nobody even like.
But whenever it came to big, I don't know, whenever it came to big countries involved, international institutions play a much less of a
Sure,
role.
but like, they at least, like, Russians used to come out and condemn, like, oh, ISIS is blah blah blah. Now it's like they sent the deputy of the deputy of deputy. Sorry, what happened? ISIS who?
So this intern is
Okay,
in
sure.
traineeship right now. We thought this was a perfect
So you're saying a
place to bring
building
it.
but where is ICC? Is in Lahe?
Vienna, I
What is
think.
Vienna? All right.
I think. No,
Lahe
no,
is,
maybe I don't know.
how is Lahe pronounced in English, by the way?
Yeah, I don't know
I
what you're
forget.
talking about there. You're
Yeah,
doing a Persian
it's
show at the same time here too, huh?
no, it's a uh, city in Holland. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it's a. How do they
oh, The
pronounce it?
Hague. Oh, it's true.
The
It is in The
Hague?
Hague. Yes, yes, yes. It's
Ah,
true.
The Hague, The
Yeah, yeah.
Hague.
Yeah,
Why do
you're
they
right. Sorry.
say Lahe in Persian? It's like completely like random
No, Sam, the
noise.
original word was that. Then the Dutch changed it.
It's
They were
as you know, we invented polo, so everything goes back to Iran. So the pronunciation, Isfahani pronunciation was Lahe, but fucking Europeans, yeah, they ruined it by Hague. It's in Hague, yeah. Anyways, like, yeah, basically Russia and everybody responded by saying, we don't care about the building in Holland not approving so of our behavior. Really, who cares? So that's that, I guess. And the battle for Bakhmut is continuing, which is, I don't know. And then we have this. Let me play this. This is the most ridiculous thing ever.
This week coming, Rishi Sunak is going to give Conservative MPs a free vote on Boris Johnson's future if the Privileges Committee finds out that he deliberately misled Parliament about the Downing Street pandemic parties and etc. Boris Johnson himself is in front of the committee on Wednesday. What's the big picture here? What's the politics? What's going on?
Well, I mean, I think for the first thing, I mean, having a free vote is not unusual when it's a matter for the House. The reason that this has become sort of significant is that they did whip with the Owen Paterson vote, which obviously blew up in their faces completely.
So on Wednesday, Boris Johnson is going to appear in front of the Privileges Committee of the House of Commons to answer for his misdeeds during the Partygate, basically answering for having a good time, for being a top-rate, like, fantastic bloke
Being a
that
lad.
he is. Basically,
Just being
like,
a
you're
lad.
being a lad, being a fantastic, being a great lad, not just a lad, great lad.
All this
They're
talk about working people, there you go. He acts like one.
You act like a normal person. Exactly. They come after. I mean, I don't know how many normal people used to have like parties during COVID, but whatever. But I would say that he's just literally there. This is ridiculous, man. We are men under attack. We are under attack, and we are being attacked for having beers and a good time. This is ridiculous. This is Andrew Tate was right. Jordan Peterson was right. I was wrong. Masculinity. But no, I mean, actually, to be honest, Boris Johnson represents a different kind of masculinity. He's a very cultured yet corrupt man, which proves that you can read Shakespeare and still be completely corrupt. This is, by the way,
lads.
I love this. Like, I love how, check this out, how Guardian has blurred the images of other people in the room, as if this is like a scene of, we don't want these people's future to be affected by these images, in the streets. People see, oh, you were at that party, you criminal.
But wait, hold on. Stay on this picture for a second. Because I really like that table with alcohol. It really shows he is kind of man of the people. It looks like, everybody
He's man of the
brought what
people.
they could, everybody brought a bottle. Somebody brought
Yeah,
like
it was
some
bring your
food,
own booze
and they just
system.
and they just like share it there,
Those bottles of wine don't look like that expensive. They look like fucking a store brand, like Sainsbury's or something.
I
don't
wouldn't be
think
surprised. No, I would highly doubt they're drinking expensive wine.
No, man. No, I mean
I
it's
swear.
UK.
So
I mean
no, I
even
swear they
expensive
sent
wine is shit.
exactly. They sent like the
Yeah.
intern out to
Yeah.
Sainsbury before it closes on a Friday to buy 3 bottles.
Man, I am so
And then they ordered
like
Chinese food, right? Is that Chinese food Tupperware? Because there was
no,
also
I think
Chinese food
no, that's
involved.
a
Oh, that was
yeah,
Keir
there was
Starmer.
one. That's a burger. Yeah, that was Keir.
it's-
Yeah,
it's
Keir
like, yes,
Starmer, man. That fucking idiot. Yeah, like why fucking yeah, Tories are having parties, they're doing coke, they're having kebab and drunk and all that. Keir Starmer, I'm having salad with non-alcoholic beer or some bullshit. I don't know, but yeah, man, he's
Yeah.
definitely he's man of the. I think that's a kebab.
Plastic cups
thingy.
too. They're using plastic cups, right? I feel.
No, there is a glass. I can see a glass. Here,
But there's also
wine
some
glass.
plastic cups
Oh, there are. That's for the interns. The glasses for Boris.
And look, then there's a Mickey of like a vodka or a gin because, right? I'm bringing hard liquor is
Yeah,
kind of
you're
hardcore.
right.
So
There
that
is a
okay,
hard
fine,
liquor.
just a small tequila.
Yeah. Man, nobody's focusing on the real, like
I swear.
important things. What were the drinks that were being drunk? How
Then there's
drunk
yeah,
did
an open
did
bottle of
anybody
red
make
wine.
out with anyone?
Who made a fool of themselves?
Who made a fool of themselves in front of the boss? We need to know. God damn it.
They didn't
Man,
have any
I'm
chips
so
though.
upset
That's a
that
bit disappointing.
I was a huge fan of Boris, but because of Jeremy Corbyn, I wasted my time with that fucking Jeremy Corbyn and that shitty Labour Party and those losers. So upset. I should have supported him all the way through. What a mistake. What a fucking mistake that
I'm
was.
sure your support would have counted a lot as a.
Hey, it would have. I don't like your tone, man. I don't like that tone at all. Oh man. But anyway,
Maybe if the
maybe
Vanguard covered him a bit, they would give Boris faith to change.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I would have been invited to this party at least. You never know. But I swear to God, man, if Boris comes out of this, I think Boris can be the guy that, like, it's been a very long, like nobody has had a political comeback in a very long time in the UK. The last one I can think of is really Churchill, that, sort of went away and came back. So, and his political hero is Churchill, so he could come back. And to be honest, with the current polling, I think it's really in the benefit of the Tories for him to come back, as they say.
Alrighty, Sam, let's continue with the show.
So my other main boy, Imran Khan, as you know, who I'm always very of two hearts about him, because I kind of like him, but at the same time he's, super Muslim and all that.
And he
so
didn't invite you to his birthday party.
He did invite. What?
Oh, he did?
Did he? No, he didn't. But I like him. He's very cool. You have to admit, he's very good looking.
Oh, yeah, that's
He's
for sure.
70 years old.
Oh, wow.
70 years old. Well, anyway, let's Al Jazeera give a brief overview before we talk.
A court in Pakistan's capital has cancelled former Prime Minister Imran Khan's arrest warrants. His supporters clashed with police outside the court in Islamabad and outside his home in Lahore. The case was adjourned and Khan was ordered to reappear at a hearing on March the 30th. He faces a number of legal cases, which he says are politically motivated. Meanwhile, in Lahore, police entered the home of the former Prime Minister, breaking through the front gate as officers and Khan supporters clashed in the street. These 60 arrests were made. Authorities say a search of the property revealed weapons and a large amount of ammunition. Kamal Haider reports from Islamabad.
Pakistan's political choices sometimes...
So, as I'm sure most people
Yeah.
are aware, the Pakistani government has brought about 60 different cases or 600, I'm not sure, against Imran Khan, mostly to do with corruptions regarding like gifts, the gifts that
Yeah.
you get as a prime minister, and you should, I guess, give to a state. But he's accused of and giving posts as gifts as well to like his friends and stuff,
Mhm.
which is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is Pakistan, man.
I know, and the other charge is that they found guns in his houses. They're like, well, that wasn't a charge, but like they highlighted how they found guns in his house. They're like, okay, it's like,
Oh, really?
noting that there was food there were bags of rice. Like, okay, it's just
Imran
general
Khan
inventory.
is a human, and we are not sure if that's legal at the moment. So we're taking. It's just ridiculous. It's exactly like the Partygate with Boris Johnson. Like, these people. I mean, Imran Khan is, to be frank, like Imran Khan case is like Boris Johnson case is like the man has been like committing like way higher levels of crime, and they're going after him with Partygate. Imran Khan case is more like, who is going after him? Shahbaz Sharif, the current prime minister, who's brother of who? Nawaz Sharif, the former prime minister, Mr. Well, I told you he used to be called, what was he, Mr. $2 million, Mr. $8 million, because you used to, like, when he was prime minister with $2 million, that was like the price. Like, you pay that, you can get any. You want human, like either kidney, you want human slaves, whatever, you can have it done. Like, who, by the way, was a husband of Benazir Bhutto, the very old prime minister of Pakistan, who got assassinated. Like, corrupt to like the most corrupt, basically, or like family member in the greater Middle East. Like, basically, like Arab, like families, the Arab royal families in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and stuff. They are like, no, guys, come on, you need to chill out. You're taking way too much. You need to share a bit more with your people. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just unbelievable. It's like the most corrupt family going after Imran Khan, who I'm sure had a little bit of corruption. You can't become the prime minister of fucking Pakistan without having a bit of corruption in you, okay? It's just not possible, I don't think.
Yeah, can't disagree too much there. And yeah, my only comment here is that this Kamal Haider guy, he's been holding down the Al Jazeera's Pakistan coverage for quite some time
I know,
now.
right?
So,
Haidar,
so congrats.
By the way, it's pronounced Haidar. Like,
I've
you
heard
should do
Haider.
a Persian. No, don't do it. Why are you putting that English? It needs to Persian for
No, I remember there was
Haidar.
a kid in school who was Pakistani, and we
They
called
pronounce
him
it
Haidar. Okay,
Haider,
now you're throwing me off. I don't know now. I
Nice,
can't
nice.
remember anymore.
I'm glad. I have achieved
Okay, I'm
my
going back to
goal.
Haider.
Kamal Haidar. Haidar is my grandpa's name was Haidar Qoli. Haidar is another name for Ali. As you can imagine, every name in Iran is either it's related to Ali. So yeah, Haidar. All my great uncles, I guess, my
I
great
see.
uncles were Haidar something, Haidar this, Haidar that. Very cool name. Very cool.
Definitely.
What do you mean, maybe? It's not fake. It's a very cool name.
Okay, fine.
Maybe I just told you my grandpa was called. But I mean, it is fascinating, though. I think we see. I mean, Pakistan. I consider Pakistan, India, and to a lesser extent, Iran and Arab countries to be part of the same sort of development
all
process.
the countries in that region.
Yeah, all the countries in and America and Europe. I think, in my view, like China and Russia to an extent perhaps are in different, or maybe not actually, but it does seem like the structures that were built post World War II, or as Weber would have said, have become the iron cages of bureaucracy. And now you have these charismatic men like Imran Khan, Boris Johnson, and Trump, who, by the way, I still don't understand what charisma is. I'm not saying it in a positive way, but they somehow have managed to have supporters that are very willing and very hardcore. And these are the people who seem to be standing up to this iron cage of bureaucracy, but seem to be not able to offer anything better either.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting, which is very unique, perhaps, to our time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Maybe not.
But yeah.
Maybe I'm pontificating, as usual.
And wait, hold on. Oh,
Also,
sorry.
I don't.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Just want to read. Can you go back to that Trump photo?
Sure.
Just wanted to read under the photo. Former president arrives at the NCAA wrestling championship. You see, he puts in the work. He does he does the dirty work. Yeah, he tweets, but he also goes to NCAA wrestling championship.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where.
You see?
Yeah, he's a. I mean, to be fair, NCAA sounds kind of like fun, man. I don't know if it's
yeah. So I think he went some kind of he's gone to like some kind of either high school or university level wrestling national championship in the US.
That's professional wrestling or wrestling?
No, professional wrestling as in the type that like countries around the world do. No, real.
Oh, real.
Yeah.
Real. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's very active, let's say.
Yeah. Oh, it's a national college, so it's probably the biggest college wrestling championship in the US. And as you know, like in the US, college sports are kind of like pretty much the equivalent of professional.
I never fully understood that, but yeah, that's what I've gathered from. They always talk about the exploitation of college players, so I assume it's very popular. A lot of people watch.
Yeah, because in the sense that the players, they get scholarships and everything, but they don't get paid. Just the exploitation stuff, but they don't get paid. But it's like a big business that the university makes a lot of money from.
But I mean, like people like general public are interested in it. That's
because
right?
It's
not like in UK or Iran where
it's like in the
about like high schoolers.
No, like the basketball, it's kind of like as if in the UK there was only the Premier League, and then after that there wasn't all these levels of leagues which are very, which have stadiums and fans and everything. In the US it goes from NBA to then it's the college. So there are like lower levels of NBA, but that's not too important. Like it goes from NBA, then the next most important one is the college one.
I see. Okay.
And then the players go from there straight to the NBA. They get drafted at the end, like some of them. But yeah,
interesting.
Something like that. I'm actually not too familiar, so I might have made some mistakes, but it's something like that.
I know about that thing they do, that they pick like every year from college players. They buy them or something.
That's the draft. They do it in all the American sports. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I knew. That's the part I know about.
By the way,
anyways,
I mean, I guess since we just talked about that, I'll just ask you something. Actually, I'll leave it for the end. Continue.
No, go ahead.
No, it's about actually nothing to do. It's about the Oscars and Glenn Greenwald, and if you saw the Oscars.
Oh, sorry. All right. So before that, since we are still talking about our what do you say, our main boys who are challenging the globalist deep states, Erdogan also came out. Turkey approves Finland's NATO bid, but let Sweden fuck you. Never liked you. These Finns, I like them. They do sauna. They are cool. You fish eating motherfuckers. I don't know what. I assume they didn't have time to really research this. I assume Finland has been willing to do sort of a red wedding style selling out of the courts. I don't know if you're familiar with the red wedding, but it's a famous bit in Game of Thrones, which you haven't seen, in which like a family is invited in, and then like as you know, as they shared bread and salt, and you know that's
Yeah.
international rule for like you shouldn't betray them. They're betrayed basically, and they're stabbed from the back in their stomach. So that is what's happening to Kurdish people right now in us. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, are Kurdish people gonna get a break? I mean, I don't know if there is God or gods, but seriously, come on, like this is not fair. You're really like, give them a break, man. This is ridiculous. It's like, it's just anyway. But yeah, so I assume in a couple of months Turkey is gonna allow Sweden in, and I assume, I don't know, from what I've read, Erdogan is in a very bad position, and he's pivoting back to sort of traditional economic, you know, sort of.
So like more state involvement, is that what that means?
No, not this is no. I mean, I wouldn't say more or less say it means he won't. I forget. He won't raise interest rates. Or he will interest.
It kind of sounds like when someone is like, this person is more
Yeah.
old school. Like, okay, so like, okay,
he's very, he's a conspiracy theorist. Everybody's a conspiracy theorist, and he's a big one. He's like Iranian regime type thing. Like it's whenever there is inflation, it's the work of the enemy.
A return to more orthodox, free market, actually. 4 sources from so actually more free market, so less state intervention.
But that's not the free market. Best of is bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
Embarked on a rate cutting cycle, so they're gonna, I guess, raise interest rates. Running against them, raising borrowing. They're gonna raise, I guess, interest
like
rates.
His manifesto has like 1 bullet point. Like, okay, sir, I think you forgot to print the rest. He's like, no, that's it. Just interest rate. Change it by 1%. Okay, sir, I don't think that's a manifesto. So to speak.
There is raising interest. Oh, yes, you are right. No, I thought we are not telling them that we're gonna kill the Kurdish people. We are not gonna talk about that. You told me not to write that down. Anyways. But so he's changing back to and he's clamping down on the refugees. He's kicking out all kinds of refugees, which is a Turkish sort of, it's kind of, concession to the public. And probably in the next month until the election, it's in a month or so, or 2 months maybe, they're gonna start basically handing out a lot of public, sort of spending, that type of thing. But right now he's doing really badly in the polls. He's this guy who's, as you can imagine from this picture, has a charisma of a particularly boring tree. Is the opposition right now? Is the opposition, by the way, has sort of coalesced behind this guy. Like
I see.
Like all the so this is quite for Erdogan. This is probably as unified as the opposition has ever gotten against them.
Okay, see, and I wasn't aware that they were going to have elections in May. Okay, so that's pretty soon.
Yeah, in a month or so, right?
2 months exactly.
2 months. 2 months. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh, actually, maybe not exactly. I don't know where I got the exact.
But I imagine due to the earthquake, the economic crisis, and all that, he might be willing to allow Sweden in for certain, perhaps economic advantages, certain financial benefits. We'll see. At the same time, Europe might think, or America might think, we'll just 2 months, we stick it out till he's gone, and then, I mean, I assume he would still have, because this is the presidential election. I don't know about the parliament, but who knows. If they do outset him, if he's replaced by a Republican of some kind, it would be quite a interesting sort of a herd, like, because right now Erdogan has been an interesting sort of I play with US and Russians and Iranians, whatever. But it would be interesting if somebody who's much more closer to sort of Americans comes to power. Whatever.
We shall see.
And also, I wanted to share this
I saw
with you.
this.
And let's just play 30 seconds of it or something.
This team is putting together what they believe to be the first magazine ever fully produced using artificial intelligence or AI.
I wanted to publish this artificial intelligence produced magazine for the first time in Iran, or maybe the world, to tell my audiences and entrepreneurs that a great development is being made in the world and we should understand it as soon as possible. Otherwise we will be looking backward.
In the past few
And this is when an Iranian guy, especially this guy, Akbar Hashemi, who I know through friends, you know, when Iranians get on board with something like this, you should 100% know that this is bullshit, okay? AI is 100% bullshit. Like,
now you have confirmation. You're like...
yeah, right now you have, this is as close as to proof that this is complete bullshit. This is sell if you have a stocks, you know, sell. It's like, this is complete moonshine. This motherfucker publishes Shambe, as you can see here. It's a Saturday. It's a startup magazine. When I used to work in consulting firm, we used to consult overwhelmingly tech like stuff. We had a subscription to this, and you know, it's just, but it's most of the articles published in it are pay to be published basically, but they don't say that, you know. It's
Wow.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's apparently much more common than I thought it was in among newspapers. But it's, you know, it's like it's Silicon Valley newspaper basically, you know, and it's just like, it's the stuff that makes us puke, man. Like constantly another innovation that will change the world. Will this person save humanity? Blah. Jesus Christ. This man and his two friends in a garage in this city have founded a new kill me now, please. And so, you know,
AI newspaper has more people working in it than like a normal newspaper.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the digital news, the newspaper that is supposed to be written with AI has 60 engineers working on the data.
Furiously.
Guys, I think it would be easier if you just wrote articles or something.
No. I'm telling the AI to write it. Okay?
Nerds, man. By the way, but from the brands that advertise in this newspaper, you can tell what kind of a people in Iran.
Yeah, I know.
where like 90% of people earn like $100 per month. Mont Blanc, you know, like, you know, yeah, that yeah, your audience are yeah, they're gonna change the world for the better, for sure, buddy, yeah. With AI. And yeah, he wanted to tell the world. That's Jesus Christ. That's the problem with Iran, man. Like, seriously, like, not with Iran, it's the problem with every society. Like, we take everything that is shitty from the outside. Like democracy, like, you know, freedom of speech, that still hasn't fully arrived in Iran. Not that I give a shit about democracy, to be honest. But this type of bullshit, it's like in America, they haven't finished with it yet. And in Iran, yes, we have the first AI magazine in the world. Why do we have to do this?
Can you go back to the shot of the office though for a second?
Yeah, one of the busiest offices in Tehran, you mean? This AI has created more jobs than the oil industry.
Seriously, look, there are at least 4 of them here, and then there's the guy himself. And you know, there's some other desks there that
And there was another fat guy. I remember seeing a fat here. Look, there's 2 other guys.
There's like another team over there supporting this team.
This is the backup.
And then the actual AI has been outsourced. That's being done by one guy in India.
Man, and it's just, again, in Iran, they went from like, I worked in offices that were, you know, like your dad had like a store type thing. So, but like old-fashioned
Yeah.
offices in Iran were shitty and old, and everything. You had to go to like the kitchen. You really didn't want to drink tea there. It was like,
Yeah.
I guess tea because it was
Now it's
boiled
like,
water,
San
maybe.
Francisco meets a jungle.
Now, yes, suddenly we immediately jump into everybody has 6 different toys, Funko Pops. There is a tree hanging from there. There is this is for because it balanced the feng shui of the office, the feng shui. Oh, Jesus God, I want to kill everybody. I really want to murder just.
Man, but
No,
there's
I
open
don't.
space, and there's also like, at least like have
No,
separate desks. This is like the worst. It's one long table. I
No,
honestly wouldn't be able to sit between 2 people like this. I hate it. Whenever I go to a restaurant, I always
Me
try to
too,
get
yeah.
the corner seat.
Yeah,
It's very strategic.
Oh, in restaurant, I like the window more than, but I don't like to be
Oh,
in the middle
yeah.
of people. It's very annoying in the middle. And I would say open space, man. It's just it's like neoliberalism. They justify their lack of money, like they don't have money to give you your own room, your own office and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's a minimalist design that has become fashionable right now. It's like, have you heard about this thing in New York, expose? The new interior design movement.
Okay, no.
It's very popular in Tehran too. It's basically they don't basically repair the inside of the thing.
Oh.
Basically, they let the the inside facade. I don't know what you call it.
That's hilarious.
Let it run down. Like you see the pipes, you see the thing, and they call it expose. It's expose style. It's
hilarious.
exposed. You see, it's
That's
like
hilarious.
sure, honey.
Man,
That's
but-
why it's a style. It's not that you don't have money to redo your house.
Here, though, there are some subtle messages, because then there's like a fence for absolutely no reason, just like letting the people know, don't get too
Don't get too
comfortable,
You can't, it's
like
open
back there,
space.
there's
It
like a
doesn't mean
warehouse or like, lab lamp from the top, like,
yeah,
we're
I was
watching
gonna
you.
ask, what the hell? I think if you don't do your, oh yeah, see, there's a guy in here. If you
This-
don't
the-
do your
the-
work properly,
Yeah,
they
you
put you in
don't-
here and they just, they just
Spin you
it's like
around.
yeah, spin you. It's like transfusion. They spin.
Seriously,
What
what's
are
the
these
fence for?
doors? It's just everybody's like doing, yeah, we are doing our own office pickles. Why?
Wait,
Why are you
seriously,
doing
are they
that?
fermenting stuff there? Okay, now that I
It
like.
does.
Now that I
It
can
makes sense.
critique.
Now, I mean, how can I work for this company? They do that, man.
Hey,
They
you should try and
ferment
get a
their own
job there.
shit.
That's
No,
pretty
thank
fun.
you.
I would just be in charge of the fermentation process.
Fermentation. No, that's extra curriculum. All of
Oh.
this shit. I mean, to be fair, you have a lot of time to do extra
Extracurricular.
curriculum because there is not much going on really.
But that's hilarious. Why are they?
AI is doing. AI is
And then-
working your. Sorry.
Nothing. It's just pretty funny.
Yeah, but in your office when you work, I assumed you are open space.
Yeah. Open space, yeah. I thought I wouldn't like it
So-
at first, but then I didn't mind
It's
it.
not like this though.
No, at least in my case,
Yeah.
I have one desk and there's one desk to the side, and
Oh,
then
it's
there's one in
separate
front of me.
desks.
Yeah.
I
Not in
see.
like a
It's not
row
one
like
big-
here, yeah.
I see. I mean,
And yeah, unfortunately, there are no pickling going on.
no fermentation. What about jams? Anybody making any jams?
There's a corner to make homemade jam, but that's about it. It's very strict. It has to be.
I
But
told
jam,
you
yeah.
there was
Jam is kind of
like,
disappointing how you have to make it.
disappointing. Why? Because of
'Cause-
sugar, you keep adding
Yeah,
sugar?
no, the fact that you have to like,
Just-
I love the ratio is too funny. As much, if I'm not mistaken, is something like this. As much as fruit there is, you add like the same grams in
Or more.
processed sugar. Wow.
Or more. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
usually more if you want it to be good, depending on the
Really,
fruit.
I'm surprised as well.
Depends on the fruit, really.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you could add like there are alternatives, but sugar is the best.
Yeah, but no other, yeah.
I recently had a wine, by the way, homemade wine in Iran with crystallized sugar, nabat. I don't know
Mhm.
what's the
Yeah.
usual term
Brown.
in
It's kind of
English.
like never. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Brown
saffrony,
sugar-ish kind of.
brown, yeah, whatever. And it was very nice, I must say. I mean, I like my wine sweet, so I
Okay.
don't like very.
It's interesting. Not too
Yeah,
sure how I would
anyways.
react to that. By the way, it's also
Do you
St. Patty's weekend or something right now.
Oh yeah,
I would love a
all the
Guinness.
fantastic holidays.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day, St. Patty's Day, is it like the sort of Arabic holidays? Does it change
Oh,
from year to year or no? No,
I don't know that
it's
much about it.
solar, I think.
In
Anyway,
Canada, it was a big deal, but here I don't think it's a big deal.
it's a fixed date, right?
I don't know.
Uh,
But in Canada, shit gets crazy, and I mean, not like the UK,
It
of
was
course.
it's in I don't know, 4th of November and St. Patty's Day were the most fun I had in European
4th of
festivals.
November
It
is
was
what?
UK bonfire night. Like
Oh.
bonfire night. V for Vendetta, have you seen that?
Yep,
You were no,
okay.
you weren't there. Another friend was. Yeah, it's just fun, just like Çarşamba Suri in Iran, the Friday night. It's last Wednesday night thing. It's just really everybody gets drunk, fireworks. And St. Patty's Day, the music, I love the Irish sort of diddly music. So really but Christmas was always a bit I don't know, Christmas was not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a different holiday. I mean, I would say categories, they're
Halloween,
just too different to compare them. St. Patty's Day is, one day where you have you have an excuse to drink from morning till night.
No,
At
man,
least in like
Christmas is
outside
the
of
same.
Ireland.
Every holiday you can no, man.
But you don't
that's
have to
a
go and hang out with like
universal
family
holiday.
and
You can
all
drink.
that. St. Patty's Day,
Sorry?
you just go to the bar, pick up chicks.
That's I agree. With St. Patty's Day, you can get wild and drunk,
Yeah.
but from early morning. But with other ones, you
On
can
the
just get
streets.
drunk on the streets, in public.
No, because Christmas
basically.
Day, you gotta like, I guess, I don't know, sip on some red wine from like early on.
Yeah, exactly. It's much more relaxed drunk. You're right. You're right
You're
there.
not with
But
the bros.
no, but I prefer those holidays to
Yeah, me
Christmas
too.
and
I'm just
Halloween.
talking about the average guy. Putting
Yeah, but
myself in their
Halloween,
shoe.
I think average guy agrees with us.
And people like to go out on St. Patty's Day and go pub crawling.
Oh yeah, I love pop crawls.
Oh yeah.
Well, where do you stand on Halloween?
Oh,
Me
yeah,
too.
not a
Yeah.
fan of costumes,
Oh yeah, you always say. I
and
like
that
costumes
much
because
work
it's an
into
excuse.
anything that I don't like no.
No, but if you live in UK where there is a costume shop every other like a street, what about
It's
that?
just a clothing shop.
Yeah, there is a costume shop everywhere you go. Because I love to dress like a Roman, but there is no excuse for it. It's just I can't do it for. So if
Yeah,
anybody
sure
has a
you would
toga
enjoy it
party,
more. Yeah, that's not for me.
No, but Halloween, I found it people go fucking crazy for Halloween. I find it people put too much effort
Yeah, for
everywhere.
sure. Unless some
maybe
people, I
in
guess,
America
like
it's a bit
it.
normal.
Yeah. Yes, I guess maybe like, if you like, I don't know, carving
I
pumpkins
would
and
say
doing decorations. Like
Halloween
some people are genuinely into that, so I guess good excuse to put up some
I find
decorations.
adults who are into any specific celebration too much to be to be too much. But I would say Halloween with kids, man. My nephew loves it
Oh
because
yeah.
he loves
Yeah,
he
it
loves
must be
blood
fun.
and vampires and killing and all that. So that's his
That's
favorite,
hilarious.
probably.
Yeah, he must have a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, and there was this also report from New York Times I wanted to briefly mention. This is a report just from 2 days ago from New York Times. A 4-decade secret, one man's story of sabotaging Carter's re-election. A prominent Texas politician said he unwittingly took part in a 1980s tour of the Middle East with a clandestine agenda. So Christopher Lee, if I'm not mistaken, is alleging that John B. Connolly Jr., a titan of American politics, and former Texas governor was involved in what was previously has been alleged by other people, including Gary, I forget his name, sorry, Gary, advisor to Jimmy Carter, sorry, I forgot his name, as well as former Iranian President Bani Sadr, Abul Hassan Bani Sadr, if I'm not mistaken. They both alleged that Reagan administration contacted Islamic Republic, Khomeini government, and asked them not to release the hostages because they were afraid of an October surprise that would change things in benefit of Carter administration. This is, by the way, very much in line with the character of like basically we know that Nixon did the same thing with Vietnam. So there is precedent for it. And the allegation is that the Carter administration promised that they would make a better deal with Iran. This part of the allegation is a bit dodgy because Iran does end up making the deal with Carter. And hostages are released, I believe, as Reagan is being sworn in, hostages are released. However, they said another part of the deal was that they're gonna provide arms to Iran for Iran-Iraq war, or in future they're gonna provide arms to Iran, which did happen. Iran-Contra affair, America through Israel and Egypt, I believe, sold weapons to Iran. So now there is, because there has been, let me read this. It says here in one part that, here, Mr. Carter's camp has long suspected that Mr. Casey or someone else in Mr. Reagan's orbit sought to secretly torpedo efforts to liberate the hostages before the election. And books have been written on what came to be called the October surprise, but congressional investigations debunked previous theories of what happened. So congressional investigations, even though we had allegations by two people, one of them, I would admit, Bani Sadr, former Iranian president, is not very trustworthy at all. But you could probably trust him on this issue. But anyway, at any rate, now we have more evidence that Reagan administration was in contact with the Islamic Republic from very early on, which helps my general case that Khomeini, Thatcher, and Reagan really represent the same sort of reaction, the same kind of reaction, a local reaction in their own locality, in their own countries, a reaction of a sort of a reactionary force that is trying to put things back in order, because declining rate of profit, basically growth cannot be sustained, so you have to basically bring in force or a speculation or bit of both to be able to keep it going. But that's just pontification, really. The real news story is, just
I see. What was the
I'm
headline?
sure
of 4 decades and one man's secret of sabotaging Carter's re-election.
By the way, the man just comes across as such a, I have to say, loser. This guy is like, he's 85 years old, and he's like, I felt this was really important for the people to know. And pathetic little man, like waiting to be just one step away from the grave before like doing one good thing in his life. So, these people are more pathetic than Kissingers of the world. At least if you become evil, fucking stick through with it. Like, just fucking dilly-dallying. Oh, I don't know if I'm evil.
Alrighty, Sam. So you sent me this a few days ago, and yeah, it's a sad story, but I guess at the end, fortunately, nothing too bad happened. So why don't you say what happened there?
Yeah, it seems that former Greek finance minister Varoufakis was attacked in central Athens by what he described are a bunch of thugs. So it doesn't seem to be that politically motivated. of course, they seem to. By the way, they seem to have. Let me play some of this
scroll
video
down for a
because-
second. No, scroll down for a second in this article actually
Sorry,
too,
Mhm.
and I'll let you know when to stop. Wait, stop here maybe.
Should I go lower or
Maybe a little. No.
what? Do you want to talk about the bailout or?
No, about like the actual attack. But anyway, okay, that's fine.
He was apparently having food with about 20 of his friends from the party DM25, and then 7 or 6. Let me actually play.
Look at that.
Explains it.
Oh yeah, there it is in the third paragraph at the end of the quote. Savagely beating him while filming the scene.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they
go
start
ahead.
up. There is this video of him which it's 9 minutes, but it really, it's in Greek, and he explains what happened to him and all that. But it's fantastic. Let me just play a bit of it, and subtitles are on for people who are watching, because just Greek television is almost as fantastic as Italian television.
Επιφύλακτα από όλα τα κόμματα και όλους τους πολίτες. Γιατί αναμφισβήτητα καταδικάζουμε τέτοιες ενέργειες από όπου και αν προέρχονται. Ο κύριος Βαρουφάκης είναι μαζί μας. Κύριε Βαρουφάκη,
περασπικά σας και σιδερένιος.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Η εικόνα σας είναι σοκαριστική.
Είμαι καλά. Έπρεπε να με δεις.
By the way, just before we continue watching, there was a train crash in Greece where about 50, I believe, students died. And that's the national tragedy that is affecting, like that's the big news in Greece right now.
Γιώργο, πριν από 24 ώρες, οι άνθρωποι στον Ευαγγελισμό, τους οποίους πρέπει να ευχαριστήσω από την εκπομπή σας, κάναν θαύματα. Τόσο την Παρασκευή το βράδυ, στην αρχή της ιστορίας αυτής, όσο και χτες. Πραγματικά υπήρξε.
Είναι σοκαριστική.
Νιώθω ότι έχω ξαναγύρω να προσανατολίσουμε την κοινή γνώμη.
Γιατί άλλη εκδοχή.
Να αναγνωρίσετε αυτή τη στιγμή αυτούς τους ανθρώπους που σας προκάλεσαν αυτό.
Ναι.
Θα μας πεις πώς έγινε και ποιοι ήταν αυτοί κατά την. Γιατί άλλη εκδοχή δίνεις εσύ και άλλη δίνει το Υπουργείο Προστασίας του Πολίτη.
Δεν θα κάνουμε τηλεδίκη,
ούτε
τηλεανάκριση. Γιατί ως πολιτικός αρχηγός αυτή τη στιγμή πρέπει να πω ότι σε αυτή τη χώρα έχουμε τραυματίσει τη δικαιοσύνη. Γιατί βγαίνουμε πολιτικοί, δημοσιογράφοι, βουλευτές, υπουργοί. Όλοι έχουμε μια άποψη για ένα έγκλημα την ώρα που η δικαιοσύνη προσπαθεί να κάνει τη δουλειά της. Εγώ θα περιμένω τον εισαγγελέα, τον ανακριτή, τους δικαστές να μου δώσουν μια δικογραφία. Όταν θα διαβάσω, στη βάση αυτών που ξέρω, θα τοποθετηθώ. Στο μεταξύ, αυτό που μπορώ να σας πω, γιατί με ρωτάτε μια απευθείας ερώτηση και εγώ δεν υπεκφεύγω ποτέ. Ήταν 7 αυτοί που πήγανε μέσα στο συγκεκριμένο εστιατόριο.
Ενώ τρώγατε με την παρέα σας.
Ναι, ήμασταν στους συνεργάτες μου του Παραταπολιτικού. Ήμασταν 20 άτομα. Προφανώς θέλανε σύραξη. Εγώ βγήκα έξω, τους ακολούθησα, τους λέω θα έρθω μαζί σας έξω να μου πείτε ό,τι θέλετε να μου πείτε.
Μόνος σας βγήκατε?
Βγήκα μόνος με επίτηδες για να μην δημιουργηθεί σύραξη. Ένας συγκεκριμένος, ο αρχηγός της συμμορίας αυτής, ο οποίος ήταν 25, 26, 27 ετών, με έσπρωχνε και με χτύπαγε και του έλεγα έρχομαι έξω, προσπαθώ να σε τιμήσω, να σου πω, να σε ακούσω, να μου πεις ό,τι θέλεις και εσύ με χτυπάς. Τέλος πάντων, με έσπρωξε, βγαίνουμε έξω και τότε δέχτηκα τις γροθιές και όταν έπεσα στο πάτωμα δέχτηκα και τις κλωτσιές, αλλά ήταν χειρουργικές, ήταν μόνο στη μύτη.
Σας είπαν κάτι?
Λοιπόν,
ναι, αυτό είναι η ερώτηση και ήθελα να κάνω. Κάτι υπόθηκε, κάτι πολιτικό, κάτι ψήφισαν μνημόνια.
Γράφτηκε αυτό.
Αυτό υπόθηκε. Για να μάθεις να ψηφίσεις μνημόνια. Αυτό υπόθηκε, αλλά φάνηκε πρέπει να σας απέτηση στη... Ναι.
Της νύχτας. Γιατί χτύπησαν τον Γιάννη Βαρουφάκη? Ήξεραν ότι δεν έχει αστυνομία? Αυτό ήταν δηλαδή.
If you watch the whole 9 minutes, it goes on that old gentleman is really insist. What happened, man? Who are they? He's really insistent on going through the details 5 more times. And I don't want to have a public. Let's not have a public court right now. Let's not have a public, judgment right now. No. But what happened? Are you gonna be careful? And then that lady there, it's like, so are you gonna start taking bodyguards with you, like your mother said or not, Varoufakis. I've told you this many times. Take bodyguards with you. It's like a family. It's like your uncle and your uncle's wife just, attacking you for, not being careful enough in the streets, basically. It's like, why did this happen? Who did that to you? Why were you at the restaurant in the first place? Who are your friends? But yeah, it seems that he's doing okay though, so that's good. Anything you want to add? You know why
No.
bail?
Sorry?
No, nothing. Don't worry. So also there was a bit more free speech discussions on the left. One was this fantastic sort of a debate in which I think quite correctly Norman Finkelstein was pit against two academics because he's it's not fair, man. You can't just have one academic against Norm. You have to bring in the whole department. So we brought in every professor emeritus, professor non-emeritus. They are all here. Norm, please be civil. Please.
Yeah, I love how Katie apparently gave that warning. I love it. Like Norman Finkelstein's explanations have an explanation, and that has an explanation, and that comes with an introductory statement, which was explained before we started. Like,
all reference.
It's really funny sometimes. I mean, you're right. He kind of a lot of times speaks the way he writes, so he will say that he's going to make a statement now, like he'll announce the fact that he's going to be taking a position or saying something,
because he wants to be careful. Like he exactly talk, especially here when he's doing these type of debates stuff, but it's about regarding
the curriculum
changes to the curriculum of African studies in Florida following the threats or announcements by Ron DeSantis that they need to be a bit less woke or whatever. I don't know. But that was interesting, and there was also this debate on This Is Revolution about Twitter files, in which Doug Lane is saying that the left should take the Twitter files more seriously, or at least as seriously as the Edward Snowden files and Julian Assange leaks type things. Those two don't necessarily disagree. They don't agree. Perhaps it's as important.
100%.
So, I mean,
So going back to so this video, it's funny. I mean, so here, I guess Norman's point is making the argument that this curriculum that we're trying to defend, that DeSantis wants to cut, is actually it's not that good because it doesn't talk about African American working class problems.
No.
Really,
they don't want to defend. They say that the curriculum has changed, and Norm is saying that the curriculum I'm seeing right in front of me is not some capitulation to the right.
Oh, okay, yeah, in that sense. But then their point was all about this curriculum shouldn't be censored as it's going to be or being cut out, whereas Norman's focus
they say this curriculum has been censored already because segments of it has there is segments about Black Lives Matter and one other thing I forget that have been taken out of the curriculum. So they say, but Norman Finkelstein is saying it's pretty usual bourgeois shit. It's not
exactly, and it's not that good, right?
He's saying it's not that good, but he's saying it's not that. He's not saying it's some kind of a new territory of censorship in America or anything, as they make it out. They're saying that this is, and they are saying that segments of curriculum has been taken out due to pressures from a state. And at some point, one of them, the person on above, mentions there are emails. And I'm okay if I need to see more evidence if that's the case that proves that a state intervened to have certain segments removed. Otherwise, I think they are making too much what's the saying? Too much hay out of nothing, or what? I'm mixing my idioms now. But yeah, it's a what do you say? It's a tempest in a teacup. It's you know,
I see.
it's
Yeah, I know.
I assume the board probably made altercations so they avoid, you know, self-regulation, as they talk about it in the Twitter files a lot. Self-regulation is a common strategy of many industries, famously movie industry,
definitely,
to avoid a state intervention. So I'm sure that's
you're
happening.
right. And you know,
But
you've actually
frankly,
on this. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I just want to add. Also, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, who gives a shit if Black Lives Matter? Like in terms of like, it's so limited. Like the censorship they're talking about. Like, it's just there is a still internet. I mean, anyway, go ahead. Sorry, cut you.
No, nothing. Here I was gonna say. So regarding to Twitter files, you've convinced me quite a bit last time that, you know, the journalistic practices of what Matt Taibbi did is not that different than, you know, what Glenn Greenwald did with Snowden, for instance. Although Varn brings that up and he says, well, in that instance with Snowden, you got access to everything, whereas the Twitter files, they don't give Matt Taibbi access to everything, and he has to ask. But then they say they move on from that pretty quickly, and then Douglas, I guess, was just talking about, like we said before, like that it's a shame that we attack him for doing this, and it's not too different and all that. And I think Varn, he's like, I agree with that. It's just more with Matt Taibbi, the significance that he brings to it, and keep on saying that it's like new and so important, who don't agree. And I must say the other guy, he was a bit like, his conversation and topics were a bit like, you know, missing the point a little bit, I found. And like even his examples that he was giving, he kept on going back to examples where what he was talking about, illegal. Like physical, they're illegal. But he was like, no, I'm just saying them like that. But then again, okay, I get it, like the example, but like, why'd you keep on picking these examples where they're illegal, actual illegal things? So it's much more clear cut that you shouldn't allow this.
Yeah, my point about journalism was that like each reporting, it seems to me, each article of journalism, the ones even that include primary research and leaks and whistleblowers, are different. Like each case is different. It's not academic work where there is a standardized, semi-standardized at least system.
I mean, they would disagree with that journalist. They would say, no, actually, there are a lot of journalistic norms and rules that we all follow.
No, they are lying. They're wrong. They are wrong. They're just wrong. I mean, that's not even like there is no, like, academia has a there is a centrality to it. There is boards. There is a it's one organization when we're talking about academia to an extent.
Journalism
very loosely,
too has
like UN.
quite of those
when
things.
We talk about, it's like, sorry.
But journalism, they would say we also have boards and people they check, and people who come up with standards that people follow in the industry, really, and then they'll be like in academia,
and it should
there
be.
are a lot of people who bypass them anyway.
Yeah,
no, I'm just saying the criticisms that would be brought forward.
Don't hate the
don't hate the person, hate the message.
Messenger. Yeah, I know. No, I would say no. I would say it's different. There is a substantive difference between an academia.
There
are
differences,
it's
but
I'm just saying that's a much more standardized.
That's where I disagree with you. I don't know. They're both, I would say, standardized.
No. Academia is much more standardized globally. Like there is a PhD globally has a standard definition.
Yeah, but how you achieve it and the level and all this.
By the way, my battery
varies.
Might run out.
Oh, now now suddenly the battery.
So I have to go. I'm losing the debate. Sorry, Cam, your internet Islamic Republic is censoring me. Bye. Bye. No, sorry, I didn't hear you because.
No, I was saying the standards to get a PhD also vary widely between good and bad universities and countries.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but
That's
there is
all.
like, I meant there is like, like high school diplomas, education has been, and again, it's just like, it's like
But this
art.
too, I'm telling
Art
you, I
is,
don't know. Like everything
no,
has been
journalism is not,
standardized a lot.
not journalism as much, no.
Really, I
You
find
can
like
argue it's been professionalized. It's been professionalized. I agree with you there.
no,
But
that
it's not,
too, but yeah.
it's, you don't have people who go and get journalism degrees don't necessarily,
But no, but
anyway.
the act of
Sorry, go ahead.
carrying out journalism is very standardized, and they try to very much follow the same kind of processes. And what's seen as objective and subjective and reporting and all this. They, now you could disagree with those, but I would say, that's why I just think they're also very standardized.
No, I just don't think what you're saying is
formalized.
really describing reality, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, but like, articles and reporting worldwide, they're very similar, wouldn't you say? Whether it's like on TV, like someone reporting like a car accident, or like any kind of local news, or all this, they're quite standardized, I would say, and follow similar patterns. But
you're right. You're right in
academia,
news reporting. 100%. You're 100% right in news reporting. I'm just thinking more on reporting side, when you have, like, for example, when there is I don't know, they're reporting on corruption when they were building the Olympic stadiums, or when they report on then I don't know, corruption in Russia. Like, they each seem to have like one case has 5 sources, one case has 6 sources. You know what I mean? It's just there is.
Yeah, in that sense,
you're right. I
think
okay, you're right. Yeah,
Oh.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
you're
New
right.
Year's
I
gift.
would. There is perhaps in academia there is more officialization. That's all. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
no, both of them really have it, I would say, and both
but
of them there are ways around it for sure, and big ways around it anyway. And that's not even say that the system itself is perfect.
But again, we got lost in a sort of a side debate, because
no,
I
think here it was appropriate.
It was probably, you're right. But my main point, perhaps I'm wrong on this too.
Lost all your confidence. Talk about Iran a bit. Gain your confidence back. What happened in 1452?
Tell me about medieval Iran. It's okay. I agree with Douglas Lane to an extent that it is as important as, I mean, I don't know. I would put the Julian Assange leaks, the ones maybe slightly higher, but in terms of really effects, they're all equally important, and they are equally important as in, like, they had little to no effect whatsoever. So I mean, just
on the powers.
I don't know what he means. Like, we need to take it seriously. Like,
I'll tell you what. I'll explain to you. Okay, being a bit silly.
Yeah.
I think that the coverage of Majority Report, the way that it was so dismissive of Matt Taibbi, pissed Douglas Lane off so much. I swear, since he saw that or something, then the Twitter files became increasingly important to him, week over week.
Well,
so that's just my theory. He brings that up here too. Yeah, he's really disgusted by it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's not. I mean, again, it's just none of these leaks. Again, like Iran-Contra affair was leaked.
Okay, but
who gives a shit?
Let's forget about the effect or the consequence it had. From the point of view of interesting, right? Something being interesting. From that sense, I would say that the Snowden ones came off as very interesting because there was always a new aspect to it. Then, of course, the Julian Assange ones came off as much more interesting. These were the kind of the smallest one and the least interesting one, I would say, because I had to do just with one organization. It was just overly obvious, even far more obvious. Whereas the Snowden one, although you would say that, everybody knew that they were listening and spying on us. I would argue perhaps less to the extent that it was after. And also there were elements to it that were they can even turn on your TV's camera while it's switched off and things like that. So it was just more juice to it. Whereas Matt Taibbi has less to work with. You know, his platform, they allow you, 260 characters.
It's a bit boring. It's a bit
FBI
less,
were sending them email just saying
yeah,
overtly.
there were WhatsApp messages about, can you shadow ban Jimmy Dore? Can you please? It's not quite the same, you're right. But I would say the original leaks, the ones Assange did about American military killing,
shooting,
and the soldiers torture and all that, that's up here.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you have a Snowden files. I'm trying to go as low as I can in the screen. And if you could add 10 more meters to where my hand is, go lower. Snowden files and Twitter files in terms of like importance, who cares? Like basically Twitter files and Snowden files were basically like one more evidence that really confirmed like what we already knew. Really, that was.
Yeah,
like everybody knew there was plenty of kind of evidence for it. It's just now we have one. Yeah,
fair enough.
But it's just majority of journalism. I would say 95% of more. It's that. So I mean, no, majority of journalism is actually sports. So I was let's not forget about that. People tendency to forget the only newspapers that is still sell, actually sell. Anyways.
Alrighty, Sam. So before that, we move on to Nowruz and all of that stuff there. I saw that you came across the Dubai Bling and Netflix show trailer, and I guess little did you know that I've actually seen a few episodes of this.
If people are watching this on YouTube, you can come close, and if you pay attention, what you see in my face is disgust and just disappointment. Why the fuck did you watch this? I mean, by the way, it's a reality TV show which I had no idea existed about rich people in Dubai. So go ahead. How? Why?
Yeah, it's unfortunately so terrible and not entertaining. So my wife was watching it, so I probably caught 1 or 2 episodes. And then when I was in Brazil during the winter, my sister's wife was watching it. My wife's sister was watching it, and we were at their house, and it's like what was on the living room. So I watched a few more. But the fact that I lived in Dubai and I can watch some garbage reality show, like I was like, let's say like they watch like Love Island and things like that, and that makes me like really uncomfortable because I genuinely feel bad for those people, like if that they're just
Love Island is the one
stupid.
They go on an island and it's hot, or isn't it? I think
just people being that stupid is really like just I feel like I'm watching something that should be illegal.
And this
yeah, no, this
they
is
are
so
more intelligent than Love Island.
I mean, at least they're not just talking about love 24/7. I just hate that too. No, but this is so bad also. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
No, they talk about shopping 24/7. That's much better. I mean, let me play a bit. I mean, there is a voiceover. This is a video essay by somebody very smart.
There's nothing worse than giving privileged billionaires with first world problems a Netflix show.
I do love the smell of luxury. I like to aim high and then go above that.
You would have thought we learned that by now with shows like Bling Empire, but no. Now, this is technically an Arabic show, but they speak a fair amount of English as well. But lucky for you, I speak Arabic, so I'm watching this so you don't have to. We start off by meeting a lot of grossly wealthy people. The main character is Zaina, who is a self-made real estate agent, but she doesn't like to be called Zaina. She likes to be called...
I am the queen of Versace.
Well, okay then. And she cares about one thing. Money. Honestly, I would kind of equate her
Have you seen Selling the OC?
To Alex Hall if you've seen Selling the OC. The show truth, but...
Hello?
Sorry, did you say something?
Where you paused. I paused. Where did we cut off?
No, I could still watch it. I could still watch it, but then
Did
yeah,
you
you just
see? paused. I just paused.
Yeah.
Have you seen Selling OC as well or not?
No, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, thank God.
The girl looked pretty good though, I must say. But I was going to say, you know who else it is in this show?
I was gonna say too.
In Dubai, there was this famous
volume.
DJ who was like this Australian guy, Pakistani or Indian background.
DJ Khalid?
No, well, DJ Khaled's brother or cousin is in this show, but no, he was called like DJ Mo or something.
Really?
And he's on this like
the only DJ I know is DJ Khalid.
No, but he was like very famous. He was like the only guy in Dubai radio like you'd hear.
And Jimmy Savile. Sorry.
Yeah, and then you would hear, but yeah.
Did you know these characters, by the way, from your time watching this? No?
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course. I've seen like 3 or 4 episodes.
Any of them your favorites or
No, none of them are good looking or nothing for you to.
The young one who's married somebody who died like the day after their marriage in a very suspicious circumstance. She's kind of pretty.
Yeah, she's the best one by far. And this guy's a cutie. Because his wife's such a bitch that you feel bad for him, I swear.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
That is honestly the plot. Like, all he wants is another kid.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, she keeps everything. She's like, I want another diamond. And he's like, so how about expanding our family? Again with that. Shut the fuck up.
She's a piece of shit.
By the way, this is a common dynamic that I found in Dubai, that you have a really sweet Indian or Pakistani man married to one of the most evil Arab or Iranian women on earth.
Who grew up in London.
Who grew up in London, yes. Yes. Or at least one of them studied it. But what is this, by the way? Buy me a Birkini. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's like an expensive bag or something.
Brand?
Yeah, look at this Versace robe de chambre.
Oh yeah, he's just I mean he's a douchebag. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Look at the golden. What the fuck are you? Yeah. I mean,
but his house was kind of small. They have 5 or 6 bedrooms.
For the way they were being portrayed,
yeah.
For the way, because in Dubai, I mean, Europeans might think, like in Dubai or in Asia, like a 3-bedroom house is kind of a standard, even for like poor people, because it's just there's more space, I assume, So 5-bedroom for the level of wealth they were displaying was a bit surprising, because in Dubai, you are usually
he should get a bigger house. I think he should.
Yeah.
And then,
not to agree with his wife, but
this guy who gets rejected, he's so annoying.
He's so annoying. I thought he was kind of sweet, wasn't he?
No. Sam, don't let these clips fool you. You haven't seen the actual show. He's a horrible person.
He was looking for love, Camion. He was a self-made rose man.
No, but like any guy who passes through this show who's like single, there's one episode about him trying to get her. So DJ Khaled's brother also gets rejected.
She's the final boss.
Yeah.
But I love how her mother is like the most Muslim ever, and then she was trying to go out with whatever she was. I don't know. No, she's the one.
And this girl, I don't understand why they hate on this poor girl who's just trying to do
because
her.
She works.
Not the one who works in real estate. The other one who's an influencer. She gets shit.
Oh, come on. She works in real estate. Yeah. Everybody works in real estate.
Okay, yeah. So the one who's a real
Instagram
estate
influencer.
Instagram. I don't understand why they don't let her do her job.
Yeah, because they're jealous. It's I don't know. That's the only thing I know from this show I've seen in this 6-minute video. So it's very clear that they're jealous of her, like actual having a job or I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, I can't believe and then when I say, oh, come here, let's, put people into forced labor camps. No, Sam, you're going crazy. You're becoming a fascist. Blah, 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 blah. Really, what else should we do with these people? What would you do with these people?
Let them be.
Yeah.
Put more cameras on
feed
them. I'll call Netflix some double the number of cameramen.
Give them more Versace.
That's him. That's a DJ guy. DJ
Oh,
Mo.
the brother of DJ Khalid?
No.
Brother?
He's a guy who
that's
came
Mo.
as like a DJ. Like he became to Dubai,
The
and he came to
ponytail,
Dubai,
yeah?
and he became he's like the most famous voice on Dubai radio.
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, never heard. I just never heard.
I mean, you probably did because in the taxis and stuff, always. But yeah.
No, I heard probably his music, but not his name.
No. Okay, his name is just DJ Dad, but he's not a DJ. He's like he's a radio host. But they call them DJs sometimes too.
Yeah. I got it. He's just he's basically a radio personality. That's what he. I thought he's actually a DJ. All right.
I mean, listen, he does mix some CDs
He
on
has
the
my
side,
dream
but
job. He has my
a lot of people
like
probably.
end goal.
Mhm.
Radio hosting is the best, man. Don't show your face. Come in. Did you hear this? I'm out. I didn't say anything. I didn't say what me, but me. Love radio. I love radio. Anyway, let's go to our briefly adopted home, to our sort of biological home, I guess, organic home. I don't know. So it's New Year, man, and it's very
nice.
It's a mixed New Year because in terms of like culture, sort of it's very odd because the state television, all the usual comedy programming, all of that is canceled because nobody's working with the national television and all that. But on the sort of home media, private sector things, really interesting stuff happening. Everybody's trying to push the boundaries. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting 2-week holiday, I suppose.
Yeah. So do you have anything special planned? Iranian New Year happens at 1 a.m. on Tuesday. So you're gonna go to your grandma's house for that, or?
I mean, we had 2 deaths in the family this year, and my great uncle is hospitalized.
I see.
So I don't know, but might have just just have we might have
Sabzi Polo the next
Sabzi
day or
Polo
something?
Mahi.
That night
Yeah,
or
Sabzi
like the
Polo
next
Mahi.
day?
Next day.
Mm.
Sabzi Polo Mahi with naranj. bro.
Wow.
Just don't be fucking
And those are cooked. That's cooked garlic there. There you have some potato tadig.
That's not
and
cooked
just
garlic. That's pickled garlic.
oh,
my friend.
pickled. Sorry, pickled garlic. And then
Yes.
you have some potato tadig there, and then you also have just some pickles. Never hurts. And then of course
Yes, and
that citrus that you don't
that's
see.
called that's naranj, where the name orange comes from actually, and it's sort of a, I guess, wild variety of it's very similar to lemon.
Yeah, it's much
kind of.
closer to lemon than orange, right? Like nobody eats
Yeah.
slices of this. No, it's actually
No,
only used
no.
for this particular
Only used
dish,
for
kind of.
this. For
It has one.
fish,
It's
for fish.
yeah.
No, in the south,
Yeah.
any fish. This is sabzi polo mahi is usually
Yeah.
white fish cut, but it's
Yeah.
it's in the south they
So
use
this
it too.
citrus really decided to specialize. It found a niche,
Yeah,
but
it's
it has a
only
monopoly over the market. So
in the
since
market.
he has no competition,
If a lemon touches the fish, they'll cut its throat. It's
file
they
a
don't-
complaint to the mother of all citrus fruits, which is the Orange
Yeah.
Board, and then they'll deal
the
with
Orange
the lemons.
Committee Board. The Orange
They're like,
Committee
listen, we
has-
all have our own place. If you start stepping on each other's toes, it's gonna hurt all of us.
Do you want me to make a Neronade instead of lemonade? Would you like that? Would you like me to come into your business? Lemonade, would you?
No, right?
But yeah,
We
man.
stick to the morning. People have a glass of us, and that's it. Yeah, everything has its place.
Everything. As you can see, garlic pickles are
Mm,
compulsory.
that looks
This is
amazing.
in our house. This one is usually there too, which is
Mm,
kuku sabzi. I
yeah,
don't know. Where did
delicious.
you?
Yeah, I used to have this.
Big fan. This you kind of that should be easy for you to make a vegan version of this, because
Yeah,
you just have
possibly.
to replace egg
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
I guess flour could do the job.
Certainly.
Yeah, it's a very good dish, very good dish. So it's basically fried vegetables, I think.
Yum, yum.
Yeah, with eggs. Yeah. So we might have that, and yeah, it was, it's New Year fun stuff as usual, the eggs, the
Mm-hmm.
pomegranates. And oh, Haji Firuz, I saw a lot of Haji Firuzes in the streets
The
dancing,
evil
singing.
Santa.
Evil Santa? No, no. Haji Firuz is not, no. Evil Santa is the guy in Mashhad I told you about. Haji Firuz is more like, I don't know what. There is no equivalent, because Haji Firuz, that's the problem. He doesn't give you gifts. You have to give him money. So it's kind of
What kind of scam are you running here?
yeah, what kind of a scam is this guy running?
Just straight up. He doesn't give, he takes.
No, but I have to say, it's fun though when you walk around the city and they're playing music and dancing. Kids love it, so that's good.
Very nice. And look at this.
Yeah, or do you do anything
Oh,
for your
no.
mom or dad are not? No,
No. They were supposed to come, but then they just
Ah,
decided to come a bit later. So they're gonna actually
that's
be here
great.
in 2 weeks. So I'll see them then.
Okay, so after all. See,
But
that's probably better.
yeah, but nothing now. And then I was gonna say something unrelated.
By the way, already 150 people died in car accidents in holiday travels as
Damn.
usual. Yeah, it's crazy. In 3 days or 4 days, 150 people died.
That's very sad.
You said you wanted to say something about Oscars or something at the end, maybe.
Oh yeah, that too. No, Glenn Greenwald just did this clip on Oscars, and before he was talking about this documentary,
Oh, the
best
hypocrisy of
documentary.
Navalny.
Yeah, no, but then he was like, nobody watches the Oscars anymore. It's just some liberal shit, and it used to be like the most watched thing, but now nobody watches it, and I don't remember who won the Oscars. So it just made me think, like, where do you stand on the Oscars right now? Has it become shittier than what it was? Has it lost its cultural significance, would you say? And yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's definitely. I think that definitely is true that in like late 90s, 2000s was the height of the Oscars, like in many ways. And it's just partially because they had to go fully artistic, partially because I think partially it's basically because what is Oscars? You know who votes for Oscars, right?
I've heard as some former
actors
like I've definitely heard it.
Not just actors, it's everybody who works in the film industry. It's basically a union award, it's a union ceremony, right? So majority of the people who vote are actors and old people now. So it's just increasingly like times change, people some don't change and yeah, it's completely irrelevant, man. I think the combined box office of every movie that was nominated this year, except Top Gun and Avatar, putting those two aside, their combined box office was about $3.20. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was. I mean, seriously, who's seen Tar? Do you know anybody who's seen Tar?
I watched a bit of Django Unchained the other day, but hey, the Oscars wouldn't recognize them.
Django Unchained, that's from like.
I know, but back then too, it was discriminated in 2010.
Sure. Oh, Oscars has always had a certain type of movie that it's going for, but those type of movies were used to be much more popular. Nowadays, like nobody cares. Really, nobody cares about Oscar. Like, just like people who used to be hardcore fans even don't really like. It's just become irrelevant,
Yeah.
But that happens to most artistic sort of festivals or you know, that type of thing happen all the time.
Guess what doesn't lose its place in society?
Lying.
Besides that, football games. Arsenal is winning 2-0. Now you've kind of turned into you flipped it. You've become, I don't know, some kind of good luck. You know, if Arsenal
Good
playing
luck
while
charm.
we're recording, yeah. So second
I'm
half
glad.
has just started, 2-0 for Arsenal.
Oh, good for against who?
Crystal Palace, but a decent team from London, so it's a London derby.
They are famous for being extremely violent, I believe. That their fans.
I haven't heard that.
I
I don't
thought.
think so. I don't know. But
Can you hear that, by the way? No? All right. My cat, there's
No.
a cat in our street that
Really?
whenever he's hungry, he's near my window.
No, I couldn't hear.
Anyway.
But yeah, just 10 more weeks to go for the Premier League, and then let's see if
I
Arsenal
really
wins.
don't like that's to be honest, for Oscars, for me personally, was the same thing that happened when I was very young with football. That like I remember with football, it was like within 2 weeks of a team winning a Premier League, the newspapers were speculating about the next.
Oh,
It's like I can't take this. This is endless. This is never gonna end. It's just I couldn't.
Gotta make some money,
it really
Sam.
freaked me out. Sure, but it's just there is no breathing space. It's just,
I know, it's
like
crazy,
being
right?
it's
That
like
is
being a
rich.
U.S. congressperson. It's like constantly you have to run for re-election.
No, that's a very good point.
Anyways.
But yeah, all right, great stuff. Any final words? Iranian Nowruz, Iranian New Year.
Oh, just because Easter kind of works out the same time with Nowruz. Do you have a break or no? For Easter, do they give a break? Or?
No, I don't think so. And if but it's not for a couple of
Another month.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that I don't know. Oh no, Sunday 30. Well, it falls on a Sunday though, so yeah. I don't think. I think Easter is usually school kids get holidays. I think in the West.
All right. I'm a teacher, so I go with the school school people.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But nice. Okay. All right. Great stuff. If anybody has any comments, questions, criticisms, please leave them below. We'll make sure to get to them. If not, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.
Support our boys before the deep state gets
the boys.